to see you. What? I want to see you soon as you get through college. What? Keep this card. It's very valuable. I want to see you soon as you get through college. You have what it takes. We need your spirit in my business. I have a big future for you. You cannot fail. Don't forget. Who are you? I didn't quite catch the name. I may not look just like you, but I have opportunity. Oh. Why don't you look the way you go? I beg your pardon. I'm very sorry.
Well, I should say I do remember. I should certainly hope to kiss a pig if I didn't.
Thank you.
Now, let me see. That was football, wasn't it? Or was it ice hockey? I go to everything.
Football, Mr. Waggleberry.
Football, of course. And I presume I promised you a job. I usually do when I get excited.
Oh.
But you shall have it. With me, a promise is a sacred pledge. My word is my bond. My handshake is like a certified check. My check is like a...
He who loseth honor loseth everything.
Right. We don't start people at the top, you understand. That would be too easy. We do it the American way. We give them an opportunity to work up from the bottom. What satisfaction. What the feeling of accomplishment you will have when you are able to look back from whatever rung of the ladder your go-getiveness would have placed you on and say, I did that.
Yes, sir.
Fine. You know nothing about the advertising business at all, I presume?
Well,
Good! Then you won't have anything to unlearn. You'll be able to start right in the basement, and your rise will be all the more spectacular.
Every man is the architect of his own fortune.
Excellent.
I've ideas. You could almost say bursting with them.
But contain them, save them. Don't squirt them all out at once. The idea department is a little congested at the moment. It always is, for that matter. There never seems to be any shortage of, but that would only depress you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to find you a little nook in the bookkeeping department. A regular little niche. You could almost call it a cranny. The rest will depend upon you.
Well, thank you very much, but these ideas...
How I envy you this chance you're receiving today. My father unfortunately left me the business.
Oh.
Just one of those things. You have no personal fortune, I hope.
Well, no, sir.
Great, and probably only the clothes you stand in.
Well, not exactly. I mean, this isn't my other suit.
Oh, isn't it?
No, sir.
Well, no matter. Clothes do not make the man. On the contrary, as Shasta said to Marx, it's man who makes the clothes.
Diddlebock.
Yes, Will.
Where the boss would like to see you.
Oh, me? Oh. Right away.
Come in.
Want to see me, Chief?
Yes, I'm sorry to say I do, Harold.
Oh,
How long have you been with us, Diddlebock?
about 20 years, I guess. 22 years.
Too long.
Why, it seems like yesterday to me. I mean that I started here.
Well, it was quite a few yesterdays ago. The earth has cooled considerably since you put on your first pair of sleeve protectors outside there.
Yes, I guess it has.
And so have you, Harold. So have you.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I may be a little older, but I'm quite sure that
I had great hopes for you, Diddlebock. If ever I saw a promising type of American youth, full of zing, full of zest, full of zowie, it was you. I remember that day I first saw you. The bases were full. The crowd was breathless. You strutted up to the plate, swinging 3 bats at once. What? Oh, no, it was hockey, wasn't it? Ice hockey, of course. You got the puck, and it wasn't? Well, what does it matter anyway at this point? A man is only as young as his arteries, Harold, and a firm is only as young as its employees. My father fired anyone who got to be 50. Man, woman, or child, it didn't matter to him. That was his motto, the cornerstone of his success. Personally, I found the method harsh. I do not subscribe to it. With me, a man is as young as his ideas.
Yes, sir.
I even participated in, or at least closed my eyes to, a small deception some of the older employees practice. When? Because my father was extremely nearsighted, they dyed their hair and returned to work for us as their own sons.
Blessed.
Of course they are. Unfortunately for you, Harold, my own eyes are excellent. You have not only ceased to go forward, you have gone backward. You have not only stopped progressing, you have stopped thinking. You not only make the same mistakes year after year, you don't even change your apologies. You have become a bottleneck. You are the living proof of the low quality of work we demand of our employees, and a bad example to the younger employees who figure that if you can get away with it, they can too, and they don't have to be any better than you are, which is zero.
What?
There are no buts. I have bought you a Swiss watch, 18 carats. It chimes. It is properly inscribed with gratitude and love and kisses for 20 years devoted service and so forth and so forth, and I herewith present it to you. Here is also a check for $2,946.12, which represents your savings deposited with the company. I'm surprised you haven't saved more in 20 years.
I had a lot more, only it was invested in the preferred stock of the company, and you remember what happened in 1929.
Oh, yes, I remember. Of course, it was just as hard on all of us. You know, the little and the big. We all shared and shared alike, but that's all water under the bridge. Goodbye and good luck. And as a parting thought, I want you to know that this is hurting me much more than it is you, Harold. Much more.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Don't let it get you down.
Thank you. It was football.
Huh?
It was football I used to play.
Sorry, Harold.
Thanks. Like that in cash, please.
What's the matter? Don't you trust us anymore?
Once bitten, twice shy.
I'll have to get it out of the safe. I'll bring it over to your desk.
Thank you, Charlie. You better buy a wig.
Huh? Why?
You'll find out.
Here you are, Harold.
Thanks, Charlie.
Just endorse it. Thanks, Harold.
So long, Charlie. Might I speak to you a moment, Miss Otis?
Certainly, Mr. Diddlebock. You mean privately?
Well, with some privacy.
I'd look for something in the file cabinets. I never find anything anywhere.
Splendid. I'll join you in a moment. Miss Otis,
Yes, Mr. Diddlebock.
Miss Otis, when your eldest sister Hortense came to work here some 17 or 18 years ago, I fell in love with her. She was a lovely girl.
Yes, I know. I mean that you fell in love with her. She told me.
Oh, she swept me off my feet. My circumstances at that time did not permit even the contemplation of marriage.
I know she told me.
When she very wisely stopped waiting for me and married the gentleman whose life she has since illuminated, I felt that my own life was ended, that I would never love again, that the sunshine had withdrawn permanently behind the clouds.
I know.
Well, I was mistaken.
Of course.
Because when your next eldest sister, Irma, came to work here, I fell even more deeply in love with her than I had with Hortense.
I know she told me. Hortense even got a little burned about it.
Well, she needn't have, because when Irma, in her turn, got married and was replaced by your next eldest sister, Harriet, I felt that everything that had gone before was merely an appetizer.
I know. She told me, too.
They were getting better and better. Your mother seemed to be making them nicer every year.
Thank you.
I haven't come to you yet. When Harriet ran away with that headstone salesman, I was inconsolable.
None of us felt very good about it.
I was going to propose the very next day.
She didn't know that.
I had the ring in my pocket. I just made the last payment on it, the one I'd started for Hortense.
It came so close.
I never felt so defeated in my life. I never thought I'd smile again.
So you met Margie.
That's right. She was even better than the others.
Might have had more practice.
Practice makes perfect. By then, of course, I'd been wiped out in the market.
Oh, was that it? She never knew.
That's right. I started to get on my feet again when your sister Claire came to work.
Why didn't you ask her? Didn't you like her?
Like her? I worshipped her. Only that irresponsible lout, that loafer who married my sister, chose that very moment to kick the bucket to pass on without leaving even a dime's worth of insurance. So I found myself with a ready-made family.
Poor Mr. Diddlebock. I suppose you were in love with Rosemary, too, while she was here.
Naturally. Of course, I was so in the habit of being in love with your mother's daughters, but then that it would be impossible for me to even see one without...
Without what, Mr. Diddlebock?
I presume you know I've adored you since the first morning you punched your first time card. You knew it, didn't you?
Well, I suspected it. My sisters had warned me.
Of course. Imagine being exposed to 7 Miss Americas and muffing the whole 7 of them.
Poor Mr. Diddlebock.
I'm leaving here today.
Oh, no, Mr. Diddlebock.
That's what I really wanted to tell you. I don't know where I'm going, and I very probably won't see you again. So, I want you to take this. It's all paid for. Someday, when you meet some young man who's really worthy of you and who has everything but the engagement ring, you can take that excuse away from him anyway, and... well...
Confidentially, I left my money on the dresser this morning when I was leaving. You couldn't let me have $4 I say, you couldn't let me have You couldn't let me have $4 till Wednesday. That's my lucky day. There's a nag called Footsure running at Belmont, and you don't have to go if you can't spare it. I just said if you happen to have $4 you wasn't using until Footsure come in.
A fool and his money are soon parted.
Yeah, but think what beautiful memories he lays up. How about $2 till tomorrow?
He who lendeth money endeth friendship.
Oh, that's all right. We ain't friends. I never even seen you before.
Well, that's a fine argument.
How about a quarter for a racing form? This is day before yesterday.
Oh, here, since you're so melancholy about yourself.
Fish hooks?
What?
I say, maybe you caught your mitten some fish hooks. Holy Moses, Westerner, huh?
Oh, here. What's the difference?
Holy mackerel, you're a right guy. You stick to me, you'll be wearing rubies.
No, I'm not. It's just that I've been saving it for 20 years and I'm getting tired of it. It's what you call an impulse. Like a man works all his life in a glass factory. Well, one day he feels like picking up a hammer.
You say you work in a glass factory?
No, I didn't say that at all.
Oh.
It's just... Oh, well, you wouldn't understand.
What you need is a drink.
No, I never touch it. I never have. It runs in my family not to. The demon rum.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since you've been so generous and all
No,
with
no,
me...
I tell you, I have never in my whole life...
You're never too old to learn.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Every dog is entitled to one bite.
Now, let sleeping dogs lie.
A barking dog never bites.
He who sleepeth with dogs riseth with fleas.
Now, wait a minute. How about a little wine for thy stomach's sake? That's from the good book. He who hesitates is lost.
Lips that touch liquor shall never touch mine.
Eat, drink, and be merry.
The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. Isaiah 28.
You got me.
What kind of a drink would you suggest? Nothing too strong, of course.
How deep is your trouble, brother?
How did you know I was in trouble?
Well, I've been around quite a lot of it.
I hear you.
Did you ever hear of a Texas tornado?
Not till this moment.
Oh, you'll be surprised and amazed. Right this way.
What?
Come on.
Wait a minute.
Oh, come on.
I shouldn't be going
Sure.
down in there. I mean, sure. Oh,
Come on. Don't flash that roll in here. I wouldn't want anything to happen to it.
a wise man keepeth his own counsel.
Fine. Come on. Come on.
Good morning, gents. Good morning, Wormy. What's your pleasure?
Jake, I want you to meet my friend, Mr. He staked me to a bankroll.
Oh, fooling. He must be new around here. This calls for a little celebration, Mr.
Diddlebock. Harold Diddlebock.
Diddle what?
Diddlebock. Bock is in beer.
Oh, I thought you said Diddlebuck. Is it buckwheat cake?
No, I didn't.
Brother Diddlebuck, what's the matter with me?
Bock.
Oh, yeah, Bart. He's in some kind of trouble.
Who is
He's
it?
about to have his first drink.
His first drink?
Uh-huh.
Well, drown my kittens. This is quite a moment. You mean his first this morning? Or really his first ever and ever since he was weaned?
I have never partaken. Now that I've had time to think it over, I
Yes,
don't...
sir.
You never know how the other half lives.
You aroused the artist in me.
It was just an impulse.
Well, obey that impulse. Why don't you have a cigar?
Have a cigar?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make you something. Something you would remember.
I wouldn't want anything... I mean, if I had anything at all, nothing potent. You understand?
You'd never feel it.
I was thinking of a Texas tornado.
Oh, not for an occasion like this, Wormy. A tornado's a perfectly reliable commercial drink for conventions and hangovers and things like that. But this is almost, is the word Vestal?
Huh?
I mean, it ought to have organ music.
I wouldn't want anything...
I mean, opportunities like this come along all too rarely for a man with his heart and his work. Tell me, Mr. Diddleback, where were you born?
What? Nebraska.
Corn. In what year, please?
1901.
Fine, fine. They distilled some very palatable stuff in 1901. Now, let me see. I wouldn't do this for everybody.
I wouldn't want you to...
Hey, you leave it to me.
You just leave it to him.
1901. 1901, a sort of meeting of old friends, brothers under the stars. It ought to help your personalities to get together. Or don't you believe in astrology?
I've never thought much about it. If you're making that for
You
me...
believe in personalities?
I suppose so.
How about posterity?
What? Posterity's just around the corner.
Now, just a couple of technical questions. Would you like it frappe or flambe?
How?
Do you like ice skating or turkey spans?
I used to skate a little.
Frappe. Frappe. Now, would you like it sweet or sharp?
I don't really...
How do you take your coffee?
I take milk.
You've answered my question. You prefer showers or sit-spans?
Well, we have a shower over the tub, but there's always the danger stepping on the soap.
Vodka. What? With vodka, you don't care what you step on.
You can step on snakes.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, just relax. One final question. Do you prefer the taste of rosemary or wormwood?
Who or who?
Do you like Benedictine or absinthe?
What?
What kind of toothpaste do you use?
Sozadone.
I gotcha.
If that's for me, you just leave it to him. What a scientist. Ain't that pretty?
I wouldn't want anything to,
They call him the professor. You just leave it to him. Oh, boy.
Gentlemen, the Diddlebock.
Ain't he wonderful? A genuine genius.
That's certainly very kind of you.
Don't mention it. And if you don't mind, I'll sample a mouthful with you.
Well, I certainly hope you will after mixing up this much.
The artist does not weigh his clay. Your very good health, Mr. Diddlebock.
Here's to you, Mr. D-
Ain't that something if I do say so myself?
That's certainly very kind of you. I'm only sorry that you made so much of it. Certainly the last thing I ever expected was to have an alcoholic refreshment named after me. Very attractive aroma. Very mild.
Nothing to it.
I wouldn't say that. But it has always seemed to me that the cocktail should approach us on tiptoe, like a young girl whose first appeal is innocence.
What a poet.
Here's to innocence.
Bottoms up.
Over your ears.
Doggone if he didn't inhale that like an expert.
Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Is that all there is to it?
You are now a member in full standing.
That's very, very pleasant.
Just a little dividend.
Just a drop. You'd never guess that you'd make so many different flavors in it.
Like a poem.
I suppose there is some alcohol in this.
I will not deceive you. There is.
You'd never know it.
That's where the skill comes in. What a scientist. There ain't hardly another mixer in town could do you a thing like that. Oh, boy.
Lovely. Just like velvet. What was that yelling? Did you hear something just then? To innocence. And still more innocence. What is that yelling I keep hearing? Or is it my imagination?
I wouldn't drink too many of them too fast if I were you. You know, just beginning and all.
It ain't as if anyone ever drank a Diddlebock before. You can't tell what it'll do to you.
This lemonade. Shake up another batch of it. Shake up a bucket of it.
Oh, wait a minute.
What are you talking about? What are you looking at?
Who, me? Nothing.
Hurry it up. What is that yelling I keep hearing?
Say, is somebody strangling a horse around here?
You know, I thought I heard something.
Everything's under control, Mike.
It was like a sneeze, and yet it wasn't like a sneeze. It was more like, what's the matter? Won't you have a little drink while you're here?
No, thanks. Not while I'm on duty.
The Diddlebock isn't really a drink.
What?
It's just a little thing I invented in Brother Diddlebock's honor.
It's more like a fruit cup, really. A fruit cup with sex appeal.
Thanks, just the same.
Thank you. Very fine fellow.
One of the finest.
There it is again. I could have sworn I heard something.
I suppose I didn't hear nothing that time.
I'm very glad you noticed it, because I did too.
Yeah, don't tell me.
I've been telling these boys about it, but they're not sure. To me, it sounded like a cross between a Mongolian lynx and a wounded moose. Have you ever hunted the Mongolian lynx?
I have not.
How about a wounded moose?
Likewise.
You're probably better off. Why don't you give the gentleman a drink instead of letting him stand there with his tongue hanging out?
Look, before your tongue starts hanging out, you better lay off a couple of them diddle pots. A fine thing at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Who's he talking to? You?
Now, wait a minute. Everything...
Just a moment, officer. My friend may be small, but I want you to know that he's got a heart of gold, and I won't hear one word against him, you understand? When I was in the depths of desperation, the dregs of despair, who befriended me? Not E.J. Waggleberry and Company, not the fellow employees besides whom I toiled for 22 years and whose sorrows I shared as who wouldn't, not the Metropolitan Police Force whose salaries I have paid and whose uniforms I have purchased to keep them warm in winter, cool in summer, and fresh in all times, but yon smolder befriended, when befriended men are nothing, you understand?
You handle him.
Ha! Wait a minute. I just saw it.
So what?
The fella doing the yelling. He's hiding behind the post there. Probably an escaped lunatic.
I don't see anybody, Mr. Diddlebock.
What do you mean you don't see anybody? You can't see that old crackpot with the spectacles?
Why, that's you, Mr. Diddlebock.
Me? That old tramp? Why, that doesn't look anything more like me. Look at that collar. Looks like a horse collar.
Oh, it ain't so bad, Mr. Diddlebock.
How long have I been looking like this?
You've always looked like that, Mr. Diddlebock, at least ever since I've known you.
Why, this is an outrage. Look at that old scarecrow. Look at that suit. Look at that hat. Look at that face.
Oh, it ain't so bad as all that, Mr. Diddlebock.
It's worse. Why, I wouldn't trust a face like that to empty a spittoon.
Oh, yes, you would, Mr. Diddlebock.
Are you positive that's me?
2 will get you 12.
Then where is there a barber and a gent furnishing outfit? This is a calamity that must be repaired immediately.
Right upstairs, Mr. Diddlebock. Only
what?
Don't you think you better sit down a little while
Sit
first?
down? Why should I sit down? Do I look tired? That's the trouble with the men of today. They don't enjoy. They have no stamina. Look at our forefathers. Look at Washington. Look at Valley Forge. Look at the pioneers. Then look at me. Hey, are you a barber? I'm looking for one.
Yes, but excuse me. Is there a leopard loose in the building or something?
Everything is under control. Men were men in those days. Here, buy yourself a new suit. You look terrible. They mined the earth and dug the rivers and tamed the wilderness and brought forth peaceful homesteads in the shadow of the eagle and the echo of the thundering herd. And in the final analysis, where are they? I ask you, and I reply, dead, my friends, deader than a boiled mackerel. I thank you. Are you all right? A barber and a tailor. A barber and a tailor. A barber and a tailor. And the world is mine. A barber and a tailor.
You better remember what you put in that so it won't happen again.
What's the matter with this?
Should old acquaintance be forgot for the sake of old lang syne? Now, if you'll just slip into this, Mr. Diddlebock.
That wouldn't be a little on the quiet side, would it?
Yes, I think you're right. Hide not thy light under a bushel.
You need a tent to hide that one.
Well, then we'll try this little Glen Upward plan.
Look, murder.
Well, now, Mr. Diddlebock indicated to me that he wanted something courageous. I made this for a dog act.
I can hear it barking.
Very clever. I bet they have to get up pretty early in the morning to catch you in bed.
It's been tried.
Oh. Well, now, suppose we try this little pinstripe.
Why?
Well, we just thought, the young lady and I, that this was a smidgen on the loud side, a mildy, of course.
Oh, you did.
It's the check within the check within the check that turns my stomach.
Oh, it is.
How true.
Hello, Max.
How depressingly true.
Who's the tosspot?
That's my friend, Mr. Diddlebock.
Now, that would call for a waist measurement of about 32. Excellent. I'll be back in a flash, and you won't know yourself. Excuse me.
Well, so long. Better luck next time.
Just a moment. Why are you giving that lowbrow your money?
Lowbrow?
Now, wait a minute. Now, here, wait a minute. This is Max, the bookies man. Don't you remember that goat I was betting on?
This goat?
Listen, Chester.
No. Footsure. He lost.
Why do you bet on goats? You want to bet on something? Bet on horses. They run faster.
Yes, sir.
You say this animal lost?
Totally.
I see. Well, now is the time to turn defeat into victory through a clever maneuver.
Yes, sir.
Now, who are the contestants in the next sprint?
Let's see. Windowpane, Butcher Boy,
Senor Pepito.
Oxnose, Pepper Pot, Crazy Maisie.
Kid of Joy.
These handles. Pulpit Caterpillar, and Emmeline.
Emmeline? Did you say Emmeline?
Yeah, Emmeline. Devoid of speed. Probable odds 30 to 1.
Emmeline was my mother's younger sister.
You don't tell me.
Oh, yes. She was a little shorter than Mother, though. A little plumper, too, but a very pretty girl.
That's remarkable.
Avoid her like poison.
She had the prettiest blue eyes.
But she's 30 to 1.
But no bookie pays more than 15 to 1.
I'll take 15.
Don't you understand what odds mean?
I think so. They represent a difference of opinion.
Right.
Well, my opinion is Emmeline. She must be a beautiful goat. I mean, if she's
a horse.
Oh, well, all the better. They run faster.
I don't want to hurry you, none. But if anybody still wants to get a bet down,
I get 15 to 1 for Emmeline.
especially if she wins.
$1,000.
$1,000.
$1,000? You mean on the nose?
Wherever you put it.
Now, wait a minute. Take it easy, will you?
Don't get excited. It's nothing but a symbol that costs practically nothing to print. There is no shortage of it at any time.
Don't do that, Mr. Diddlebock.
You have to take chances in this life.
Will you take a grand on Emmeline?
No, you don't have to take those kind of chances.
15 to 1.
Don't do that, Mr.
What do you mean, am I
Diddlebock.
plastic?
Nonsense. You didn't know Aunt Emmeline.
I got the dough right here in my mitt.
Here, put it in my
Are
mouth.
you sure?
Nonsense.
I wish you would
The
change.
die is cast.
Of course, it ain't any of my business, but you sure you don't want to think this over?
Certainly not. When the iron is hot, strike.
Look, a joke.
Obey that impulse.
Okay, it's your funeral. Okay. I tell you, I got it right here in my mitt. Can't you hear it? You made a bet. Maybe not the best bet in the world, but a bet. They're off. I can hear the short wave. Senor Pepito going to the front by ahead. Windowpane second, Crazy Maisie third, Butcher Boy fourth, and the Popo Caterpillar.
Let me hear that. $1,000.
Keep quiet.
Let me hear that, will you, please?
Around the turn, it's Pepito in front by 3/4 of a length. Windowpane a second by ahead. Crazy Maisie's third by ahead. At the quarter, it's Windowpane by ahead.
And here we are, Mr. Diddlebock. I just brought a few accessories in case.
Pepito a second by half a length.
Now, if you'll just slip into these, Mr. Diddlebock. Would you mind glancing the other way, dear?
With pleasure.
Oh. With your permission, Mr. Diddlebock.
Butcher Boy got through on the inside and is going to the... Crazy Maisie flaunted. She's swerving the Butcher Boy on the rail.
Like the skin on the feet.
Thank you.
All this noise. Possibly a
Windowpane
change
is
of shirt,
straight by...
Mr. Diddlebock?
This one.
By all means. Now, if you just slip your coat off, Mr. Diddlebock.
Windowpane got through on the outside, but... Crazy Maisie ran wide and bit him.
What?
She's crazy. Now she's back at the rail in front by a length. Pepito was
And
second by
there
half a length.
we
Butcher Boy
are.
got through on the outside.
Very nice.
Coming up between horses. They're cleared for home. It's Crazy Maisie by a length. Pepito was second by half a length. And
There.
Butcher Boy's coming up.
No.
Butcher Boy is third
No.
by a length. Butcher Boy is second. Crazy Maisie ran
No.
wide again. And...
No.
What?
Here comes Emmeline.
They're coming up between... They're coming down the line. Head and head. It's
Kills
Crazy
the
Maisie,
suit.
Butcher Boy,
Yeah, they
head
kill
and
each
head.
other.
Here comes Emmeline. It's a driving finish. Their noses apart. They're going across the line. They're finished now, and it's Emmeline. By a neck, Butcher Boy is second by half a length, and Crazy Maisie is third in front of
That
Caterpillar and
is me.
Emmeline. Emmeline wins.
Hot dog.
Wake up, you nasty thing. A fine brother you turned out to be. I work and slave and give up the best years of my life to make you a home full of charming, womanly touches and keep my children pure-minded. And as a reward for all this, you come rolling home at midnight in a condition which I, for one,
What's
Mr.
so late
Diddlebock...
about midnight?
Yes. But where were you all day Wednesday?
All day Wednesday. All day Wednesday.
You were drunk, that's where you were. Drunk as probably rolling in a gutter someplace.
All day Wednesday. What are you talking about, Flora? I never had a drink in my life.
Coming home on horseback.
Horseback.
Waking up all the neighbors.
On horseback.
And when old Mrs. Chauncey called out the window, the night was made for sleep, Mr. Diddlebock. You and your drunken friends had to holler back. The night was made for love, Mrs. Chauncey, or have you forgotten?
I said that?
Said it. You sang it.
Where's my suit?
Well, you came home in this thing.
What is it, a horse blanket?
It would look as good on a horse as it did on you.
You mean I actually walked the streets in this?
You rode horseback in the streets in it.
Wonder if anybody saw me.
Oh, no, of course not. You probably didn't attract any more attention than Lady Godiva in Macy's window at noon. Form-fit Franklin, featuring the figure from Nominal.
Form-fit? Wonder if I get my money back on it.
You could try, but I doubt it. You might see what you can get on this while you're at it.
Oh, take it off, will you? I feel bad enough as it is. I had a fortune. I had thousands. I had all my savings in one big... Wait a minute. I had tens of thousands.
You had tens of thousands.
I tell you, I did. Where are my pants?
Maybe you threw them out the window.
I tell you, I had a fortune in them.
You had a fortune in them. And where did you acquire this fortune, may I ask, if I'm not too inquisitive?
Is there such a thing as a goat race?
A goat race?
No, I remember. It was Mother.
You say Mother was racing someplace?
Bertha B., that's right.
Were there any other angels in the race?
It was a horse race. You know what a horse is, don't you? What's the matter with you, Flora? First, I bet on a horse called Emmeline. You remember Aunt Emmeline? She won easily, naturally. Then I took the $15,000 I bet on Emmeline.
$15,000?
That's right. She paid 15 to 1. I took the $15,000 I bet on Aunt Emmeline and bet it
on Mother.
On Bertha B. Bertha Bierhofer. You remember your own mother's name, don't you?
Yes. And she won, too, I suppose.
Easily, I presume.
You must be on the millions, you presume.
I seem to remember a big fat man someplace where there was some very pretty girls dancing the tom-tom and slinging their garters around.
Oh, I see it.
This big fat man, big-hearted mower, was a generous Jake. He was always smiling. He had a big happy smile, like a shark. He had it right in his pocket for me. He said all in cash. All he had to do was reach right in and pull it out.
He said?
That's right. But the government didn't want anybody to have that much in cash. That was it. It wasn't patriotic.
For him?
That's right. When I said, I suppose that's why they want you to put your money in bonds. He said, bonds, Brother Diddlebock. When they say bonds, they mean investments. And have I got an investment for you, Brother Diddlebock?
And what was it?
I don't remember.
Well, I'll tell you what it was, Brother Diddlebock. It was a drunkard's dream. The horses were nightmares, and the money is just something you never had and are never going to get, Brother Diddlebock, because you're just an old failure. So just get into your clothes and go down to the office and walk in as though nothing had ever happened, and probably you'll find nothing did happen.
What about Wednesday, Flora? What was I doing all day Wednesday?
Don't tell them you had a cold. They probably had drunks working for them before.
I just don't believe it, Flora. If I could only find those pants. Oh, boy. Now you'll see whether it was a dream or not, whether I never made any money or never will. Just feast your eyes on that. Yeah. Well, that's certainly funny.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Shall I follow you, sir, or will you hop in now?
You talking to me?
By all means, sir. I said, shall I follow you, or will you hop in now?
Just a moment. Why should I ride in that thing?
Well, it's your cab, sir. You bought it last Tuesday.
My cab? You mean including the horse?
Most assuredly, sir. How else would we propel it?
What did I use for money?
Why, you had tons of it, sir, and you were most generous and high-spirited with it, too, if I may make so bold.
I was.
Positively, sir. It took me back to the good old days. It was a gorgeous spectacle. Well, hardly anyone could render you the slightest service without you pressing a 50, or at least a 20 into his eager hands. I almost thought once or twice you overdid it, sir.
Excuse me, you didn't happen to notice what I did with any of that money, did you? Or even some of it?
Oh, you were most free with it, sir. The women were at your feet, sir, if I may make so bold.
They were.
Prostrate, sir, absolutely horizontal. The weaker sex simply adore a generous man, sir.
Excuse me, you wouldn't like to buy this vehicle back in the bargain, would you? I could let you have it very reasonably, including the horse and the whole...
But you've already paid me a month's wages, sir, and you gave me to understand the position was permanent.
I really hate to disappoint you, but wait a minute. You don't happen to know whether a horse called Bertha B won on Tuesday, do you?
By all means, won rather easily, I believe, in 201.
Then what did I do with it?
You mean the tail?
Yes, and where was I all day Wednesday?
You mean where weren't we, sir? Oh, it was like the good old days. You'd say Algernon.
Your name's Algernon.
My name's Thomas, sir, but you had difficulty in remembering it. You called me Algernon James Macbeth, and even Othello once or twice.
Excuse me, but...
Morning, Mr. Diddlebock. I thought you'd be over there, but since you wasn't, I'd come over here. Morning, Hamlet.
Good morning, Wormy.
Now, before you do anything else, you got to see about getting them some breakfast.
Getting them some breakfast.
They would like to have their breakfast immediately, if not sooner.
Who would like to have their breakfast?
The lions.
You know anything about any lions?
I rejoice to say I do not, sir.
The lions that come with the circus. I've been out there for 2 days. What an aroma.
Just what circus are you alluding to?
Your circus. And it ain't no illusion.
My circus? Who in heaven's name ever gave you the idea that I had a circus?
Whoever gave me the idea, you sent me out to take care of it, didn't you? Right in the middle of the party, didn't you? Just when I'm getting in good with this big blonde, I got to beat it out to Queens. Just in time for an elephant to squirt a bucket of ice water in my kisser. And for one of them cats to... Well, never mind.
Where the how in heaven's name did I ever get a circus?
Lucky Leopold give it to you instead of the dough you won from him. Wild Bill Hitchcock lost his circus to him.
Then I did win on Bertha B.
Oh, sure, for all the good it done you. You said you had always wanted a circus.
I did.
You did and you have. You sure got your wish.
I see.
And we have many hungry mouths to feed.
Oh, we have. I was hoping it was just a small lion act or something. Maybe one lion and a couple of trained birds, maybe.
One lion. I just mentioned the lions first because they were yelling the loudest. We got 37 lions.
37?
Yes, 37. We also got 14 tigers.
14 tigers?
That's right. Also 7 bears, some odd jaguars, and a puma.
A puma?
And what a puma. That's the one. Look, we got horses, Shetland ponies.
Never mind. Where'd you say this Noah's Ark is located?
Over the bridge in Queens.
Then what's the joker? Why did I get it? What's wrong with it?
Oh, nothing, except we ain't got no tent to give the show in. You got to have a fireproof tent, and you can't get a fireproof tent. And we owe 6 months' feed bill and 4 months' back salary. And there's a plaster on every piece of rolling stock and a habeas corpus on the whole work.
Now, how would you feel about repossessing your circus at a fraction of its original cost?
I'd like to be 9,000 miles away from it, home in the arms of my mother.
I see. I could make you an exceptionally attractive offer.
You couldn't make me an attractive offer, not if you got down your bended knees and threw in a set of dishes.
I see.
You don't, but you will. The only reason I hung around as long as I did and gambled away my stake was because they were so hungry. And you don't find many people takes pity on a lion.
That's right.
You got any idea how much meat a lion, not a monarch of the jungle, just a small, ordinary lion like that one there. Come here, Jackie.
What?
Come here. Jackie, come up here. You got any idea how much a lion eats per day?
I haven't the slightest idea.
21 pounds per day.
Quite a pet.
Yeah, like a kitten. Of course, he don't get any choice cuts. Just ordinary meat, but then they don't exactly give it away either.
I see what you mean.
Now, you multiply 21 pounds per day by 37 lions, 14 tigers, and 9 jaguars.
Yeah, and a puma.
And a puma. Then you multiply that by 30 days, that's September, April, May, and November.
June.
Yeah, whatever it is. But all the rest have 31, and that means one more big meal. Except February alone, and they only eat 28 times.
I see. Did you ever try selling them to a big circus, Ringling Brothers?
Did you ever try selling pills to Carter? Go on away, Jackie.
Yes, how about offering some of them to the zoo?
Well, they offered me some of theirs.
You did, huh?
Yeah.
Well, a circus must be really quite a white elephant.
I'm glad you brought that up. Have you got any idea how much an elephant eats in, say a week? Hot or cold, rain or shine, 52 weeks a year regularly?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Well, not counting the peanuts, or the 150 pounds of bran, or the 200 pounds of oats, or the 50 gallons of pure spring water they drink to wash it down with, can your mind envision a ton of hay?
A ton?
A haystack.
Of hay?
Alfalfa.
Why, that's impossible. It would die of indigestion. Nothing can eat a ton of hay.
An elephant can with ease. Now, let me tell you about the hippopotamus. The hippopotamus does not, as you might suppose, live on a diet of water. Oh, hello, Guslav.
Hippopotamus is all very nice, but where's the fish?
Fish? Who wants
Mr.
fish? This
Diddlebock.
isn't Friday.
There's a few characters out here would like to have a little word with you.
Just a moment. We will speak for ourselves, if it's all the same to you, my small friend.
You, sir.
This is indeed a great pleasure. Mr. Diddleback, isn't
The
it?
pleasure's all mine, sir, madam.
Ethically and morally, we are not responsible for the acts of our predecessor, but sometimes, technically, we are. And now, if you'll come this way and present your statements, one at a time. There, this one, and now another, and now another. Have you any more?
How do you do?
What is your trouble, young man?
I happen to have some very hungry cats, and I was just wondering if your organization could help me out a little, just temporarily.
Most certainly, we're here for that purpose.
It wouldn't matter about the size of the cat?
Not a particle. We mother all cats. That was the desire of our dear benefactor.
Very handsome man. Well, that's certainly a relief.
Now, have you one or plural cats?
Plural.
Excellent. And the number, please?
61, if you want to count that pew.
I beg your pardon?
Well, in the neighborhood of 60.
It's quite a neighborhood.
Well, you know how they multiply.
There are ways of controlling that, you know. I don't want to sound cruel, but are you quite sure that being out of work and everything, you can afford to support quite so many of our dear little friends?
Well, I'd be very happy to bring over a couple of wagon loads.
Oh, not permitted. Or all too soon our little home would be overflowing.
Especially with ours.
We will go through from a distance. The important thing is that they're hungry, isn't it? Of course it is. So I'll just give you a requisition for, you can fill it at the back door, for, shall we say, 6 bottles of milk? Oh, let's make it 8 bottles of milk. And some nice, freshly chopped liver. About how much liver do you think your poor little darlings could manage?
Well, would about 3 tons be asking too much?
3 tons?
We could have took a couple of pounds of that liver.
What for?
For lunch.
We got to think along very much broader lines than that. This is a big problem.
You're telling me.
I used to solve problems all the time when I was in college. Trigonometry, calculus.
What a time this would be.
You know something?
What?
I don't think I've thought in years.
No fooling. I'm always thinking, always trying to figure an angle.
That's because you have to. You haven't got security. You haven't got a job like I have. Like I have. Where you have to get up at the same time every day, eat the same breakfast, go to the office on the same car, work on the same ledger all day, then go home the same way you came to the office, except backwards.
Sure makes me dizzy to ride backwards.
Doesn't take any thought to do all that, so you don't think anymore, like you stop taking exercise.
I sure hate exercise.
I was even in love with the same girl all my life, except in a different body.
Same with me. I gotta have change all the time. So long, Susie. Hello, Nellie. Hail and farewell.
You know something else?
What?
He may have been right to fire me.
Huh?
I'm just an old has-been.
What are you talking about? If ever I seen a live wire, a good-time Charlie with a rubber off his roll and a whistle for the dame, why, this little problem wouldn't have been no problem at all to you on Tuesday.
Where there's a problem, there must be a solution. Where there's a mind, there must be thought. You follow me?
Well, at a distance.
Where there's a circus, there must be money.
You said it.
Now, where do you get money?
Wall Street?
Correct. And where in Wall Street?
A bank?
Correct again. And how do you get that money out of that bank?
A hold-up?
No. By using your head. Nothing is impossible if you use your head. You can go through granite walls with your head.
I nearly done it one time. I tried out a horse. It was a very quick stop.
Baraboo.
Huh?
Baraboo, Wisconsin. A banker from Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
The winter headquarters of Ringling Brothers Circus.
What's that got to do with it?
What's that got to do with it? Any boy from Baraboo, Wisconsin naturally wanted to hang around the circus as much as they'd let him. All his spare time he was there. He'd carry water for the elephants, take me down to the public library. He chopped meat for the lions. He stuffed hay in the hippopotamus. Naturally, he wanted to run away with the circus. Every American boy does.
I see. That's a very clever piece of deductive reasoning, Mr. Diddlebock, a very brilliant hypothesis.
Just plain buck.
You are interested in circuses, aren't you, Mr. Sergeant?
Deeply.
Splendid.
Why did you develop your interest in circuses, Mr. Diddlebacher?
I dabble in circuses. You know, jump in, take a small profit, jump out.
Ah, yes, it's that last part that's the hard part.
Yes,
I
yes.
might have wished that you were a true lover of circuses rather than just a trader in them, but beggars can't be choosers.
How true. And now, Mr.
Those
Sergeant.
elephants. How soon would you be ready to take over my circus?
Take over your circus?
Well, time is of the essence, naturally. You must have found owning circuses before that once you make up your mind to dispose of one of them, the sooner the
Yes,
sweeter.
but,
Oh, yes, it is. Perhaps I shouldn't tell you this, but you certainly came on the right day. I've just received my monthly fee bills, and I'm prepared to make you a genuine bargain. I'll meet you more than halfway. In fact, I'm willing to take a stupendous loss. I'll make you such a sacrifice.
No.
Oh, yes, I will. This is the end. By gad, we can acquire my circus in such reasonable terms that...
You can acquire my circus.
That's right.
Give that to me again.
We got the circus, and you being fond of circuses, we thought naturally you'd be...
That you could sell it to me.
Uh-huh.
I knew this was too good to be true.
I hate bankers.
Why?
Because they won't lend you any money like they're supposed to. Everybody hates them. Don't you hate them?
I never thought much about it. Now, let's see. Why would a banker want to buy a circus?
Take off his income tax?
I don't think they pay income tax. At least you never see their names up very high on the list.
You're leaving us to pay it for him. I hate bankers.
Could he be sorry for the animals?
A banker?
What we need is an argument.
What we need is some meat.
That'll come. Now, why would you buy a circus if you were a banker?
I wouldn't.
Even if you could afford it?
I should say not. Hui.
Why, I would. I guess maybe that's why I bought one. I was always going to buy a circus when I got rich.
You sure bought one.
Keep it in the poorest part of town. Let all the kids in for nothing, all year round, just to see their faces.
You'll get awful tired of that whiff.
Wait a minute. You say everybody hates bankers?
Naturally.
There you are.
Huh?
Nothing to it. Where's there another bank?
They're all banks.
Then come on.
What happened?
We just sold a circus.
Huh?
James R. Smoking Company. James R.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Is Mr. Smoking? We'd like to smoke him out.
We'll go inside, Wormy.
You got an appointment?
We'll make an appointment.
What do you want to see him about?
An
A circus.
investment.
Of what?
What's it your business?
Well, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. There are plenty of people inside for that. Want to try it?
Big mug.
Come on, Wormy.
What? I hate bankers.
Well?
Listen, you.
We didn't figure this out far enough. You've got to figure these things out to the bitter end. What you'll do, then what they'll do. Then what you'll do after that, then what they'll do, then what you'll do after that. It's like, do you play chess?
No.
I don't either.
Maybe if you wore the other suit and a big Kelly.
What for, to frighten them? No. What we need is an open sesame.
I know where we can dig up a couple of blackjacks.
No. What we need is a rule.
Oh.
Did you ever hear of the Trojan horse?
Where was he running?
Forget it. There's nothing that succeeds like success. No. Like thought. With thought, you can penetrate
granite walls.
Right, Big Mug. All we need, then, is a thought.
But that goes all the way through.
Right.
That don't stop at the bitter end.
Right.
You and your little brother.
Never mind that. There's nothing to it. We'll be in jail by 3:30.
Huh?
Out again by 4:45.
Huh?
I've got it. Absolutely and beyond question, it cannot fail.
What is it this time?
We've just sold the circus, that's all.
Again?
Right, come on.
Must you go?
We'll be back.
You'll find out, you big stiff.
Right.
Right.
Since you have repeatedly failed to clean up this matter, despite numerous warnings from me, which I was in no way obligated to show,
Which we were in no way obligated to show.
we are reluctantly forced to inform you that we will have to take over your building. As of the...
I hope we're not intruding. Mr. Smoke, I presume? I wonder if I could have a few moments of your valuable time. Mr. Smoke. Where are you, Mr. Smoke? Now, wait a minute, Jackie. Will you take that blasted thing out of here? You wouldn't hurt a butterfly, Mr. Smoke. Butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. Give the gentleman your paw, Jackie.
Here, give Mr. Smoke a drink.
It's nothing. It's called the Diddlebock. I have only a few moments before the police reserves arrive, so I will be extremely brief. As you know, Mr. Smoke, you are loathed by everyone. Why? Because you are a banker. I am here to repopularize you overnight through the medium of the James R. Smoke year-round free circus for children. Adults, 55 cents. Remember that the richest man in the world spent millions to become popular. I will make you popular overnight and for nothing. There's only one circus in the world for sale. Why, Jackie? I have it. The James R. Smoke year-round free circus for children. Adults, 55 cents. The price is $30,000. I will leave you with that thought. My name is Diddlebock. You can locate me through the papers. Good day. Come on, Jackie. Come on, boy. Good day. Bock, as in beer. Diddle. Year-round free circus for children. Remember those words. Adults, 55 cents. As you know, Mr. Markov, you are abominated by everybody. And my plan is to make
Here,
you
have
the
a
most
drink.
popular-
It's nothing.
Stand back, you wild animals. Stand back, Get up, Jesse. As you know, Mr. Blackson, you are despised, reviled, and detested by all normal human beings. My plan is to undo this great wrong through the medium of the Jeremiah T. Blackston year-round free circus for poor children. Adults, 55 cents. Drop that gun.
Here, have a drink.
I'm sorry we had to break in on you like this, but I want you to know about the McDuffie year-round free circus for poor children. Adults, 55 cents. As you know, Mr. McDuffie...
Just a minute, young man. What do you mean crashing in here without being announced? What you got there, a dog? He don't smell nice. Why don't you give him a bath? Now get out of here before I ring for the janitor. If I can never find that Tessie Bell, and have you escorted to the street pronto. Go on out now.
The McDuffie circus would make you very popular.
I don't want to be popular. I don't like nobody, and nobody likes me. If it's all right with them, it's all right with me.
Here, have a drink.
Certainly, that's the one thing I do like.
The McDuffie circus will probably...
Very nice. Man's only friend. Now get that dog out of here. I hate dogs. Shoo, Rover. Go on, get out. Get out now. Where are you? Get out of here now. I can smell you, but I can't...
No! No! Hey! Jackie! Look out for Jackie!
Here, Jackie! Here, Jackie!
Now look what you done! Here, Jackie!
Here, Jackie! Here, Jackie! Look! Here, Jackie! Here, Jackie! No!
What's the matter with you? What are you trying to do?
Hey, Jackie!
Get Try the other one. All right. No, Jackie. Show us this one. Try this one over here. Here. Keep right in there, boy. Quiet now. Here, right. It's locked, too. Huh? I'll try the other one. Right. Back there. Be quiet, boy. Ah! Mr. Diddlebock! No! Hand! Do something. Here, get back, boy. Come over. Give me your hand now. Look out. Careful. Hey! No. Please, wait. Come on, Bubba. Come on, hold my hand. Look out! Look out! What are you doing? Hey! No. What's the matter with you? It's enough. Stay back there. Now I got my glasses. Oh, all right. I'll buy you another pair. They was only from the dime store, but it took me 3 weeks to pick them up. Where are you? Never mind. Let's go! Here go! Mr. Diddlebock. Please, Mr. Diddlebock. What are you trying to do? You don't see that. I'm the sister's careful now. Yeah. Ah! No, hang on. No, stay back there. Come on. I'll show you how to open them. Wait a minute. Don't frighten Jackie. You don't frighten that easy. This is one time I thought the thought all the way. Get back, Jackie. And I ain't going over that precipice again. That's... Hey! Stay there, Jackie, now. Now be quiet, Jackie. That's a nice old iron. Only be a second now. Be careful, boy. Oh, no. Watch out, for heaven's sake. Be careful, Jackie. Please, stay back there now. Stay still. What's the matter with you? Be careful. I want to cut your arm off. I thought I told you not to make any noise.
How can you throw a telephone through a plate glass window without making any noise?
You thought through 2 plate glass windows.
Oh.
What a mess.
Can you see him?
There's a good old Jackie. There's a good boy.
Oh, see there?
There's a good old Jackie. There's a boy. But just let me get you. Have you got a hold of me?
Right by the coat. Hang on now. I got a chain. I got you. Right, Jackie. Get your tail out of the way now. Hang on. Now, miss. Easy now. No.
Hang on to him, Mr. Diddlebock.
No.
Quiet. Jackie. I almost...
Get me in the finest.
Jackie!
Are you all right now?
Just 1 minute.
Now take it.
Jackie, I can't.
Clear the edge now. Mr. Diddlebock, where are you? I got you now.
I better get it with my foot.
Oh, quiet now. Yeah. Are you all right?
Oh, just a minute. You got a hold of me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, now hang on. I got it. Oh, no.
I see.
Throw the tail up from around Jackie's, the chain from up around Jackie's wrist.
I see.
Now, and you got a good hold of it.
Just a minute now. Hang on.
What? What's the matter?
I'll show you. If I only had my glasses.
Okay, now, hang on.
I got you.
There I go.
I got you.
I can't feel you holding me.
I got you in a death grip.
You got me good and solid.
You betcha.
There I go now.
Be careful now, Mr. Diddlebock.
I got it. You got a good hold of me.
Sure, I got you. But why is your voice so far away when your coat tabs are right here?
What? Wormy! Help me! Help! Wormy!
Mr. Diddlebock!
Hurry, somebody, help me! No, Jackie! Give me your hat! Give me your hat!
Where is your head?
Hurry, it's Diddlebock! Here I am, way over here now!
Over where?
That's I'm trying. No, do something, Wormy! I'm way over here, Wormy! No, Jackie! No! Hurry up, Bill! Oh! Mr. Diddlebock! Hurry up, Wormy! Oh!
Have you got him?
Come on, boy!
Have you got him, Bill? Can you reach me? I'll get something. Where are you? This thing, I can get a hold of it. There it goes, not everything. Everything gets in your way. Mr. Diddlebock! Hold on a minute. Come on, here I come. Come on, grab a hold of that.
Come on, boy!
Can you reach it?
Hey, look out there!
Have you Was it part of the plan?
No, there was something else. Oh, boy, am I cracked up bananas. Oh, boy. Are you sure he's all right, Wormy? Are you all right? Are you all right? Good. Wait a minute. Look out. Hang on. Help. Hang on. Help. Hang on. Help. What's the matter with you? I'm sorry. I ain't never going to be the same again. Oh, boy, is this nice in here.
Thought you didn't like jails.
This is the first time I ever appreciated one. So cozy, so solid. Don't they build them nice?
Well, we'll be out of it pretty soon.
No hurry.
We got to get over this, you know. That wasn't part of the plan at all.
You're telling me.
Now, let's see. I said that we'd be in jail by 3:30.
We are, and I love it.
And out again by 4:45.
We ain't, and it's all right with me. Good old Jackie, did you stick your neck out?
They ought to be here with certified checks.
Who?
The bankers. They have to come with certified checks. There's nothing in this world as strong as a good idea. Never has failed, never will fail. It cannot fail. The thought is planted.
One more second, they could have planted us, too. Can you imagine watching a trapeze act? Oh!
There they come.
Who?
The bankers. Now, you just watch it. Pretend to be indifferent.
Right.
Young lady bailed you out.
A young lady? The banker's secretary. He sent her over. Come on.
Hello, Mr. Diddlebock. I'm so sorry. You're in trouble. What's that?
Why, Miss Otis? That's just Jackie. Don't pay any attention to him. You bailed me out?
Well, naturally, Mr. Diddlebock. We just put our savings together. That's all. He can't get out, can he?
Of course not.
That's all savings are for anyway. Naturally, they weren't all mine. Hortense had the most, of course, seeing the others.
Naturally.
And when we heard you were in trouble, are you sure they're strong enough?
Of course they are. They keep murders in them. I can't thank you enough, my dear Miss Otis. I'm terribly touched, and as soon as I have a minute, I'll thank you for hours. But I'm not in the slightest trouble. This is all part of a plan, a foolproof plan.
That cannot fail.
That cannot fail.
Oh, I thought you were in trouble.
Far from it. Do I look as if I were in trouble? Now, you didn't happen to see any bankers downstairs on your way up here, did you?
No, I didn't, Mr. Diddlebock. Only a colored man.
What was he doing?
Mopping the floor, except the sergeant.
They've had plenty of time to get here. At least one of them should have come to steal a march on the others. They must know where I am. The paper says exactly. The Battery Park Police Station. You didn't have any trouble finding me, did you?
I didn't see the papers, Mr. Diddlebock. Your coachman came and got me.
Why, there's life there's hope, sir. And while you was acrobaticking this afternoon, I was thinking to myself...
Thanks.
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Diddlebock. I don't know exactly what you're disappointed about, but maybe you could get arrested some other time if that's what you're trying to do.
Well, that's that. But I just can't understand it. Come on, Wormy. We'll take Miss Otis home anyway. It's about all we have to offer. And we'll come back and get Jackie in. I'd be glad to go back in jail, Miss Otis, if it would get you your savings back.
Don't talk nonsense, Mr. Diddlebock. Don't be depressed. The day is always darkest.
I know, just before the cyclone. Say, what's the Battery Park Police Station doing on Canal Street?
The Battery Park Police Station? station, sir?
Yes, that's where the paper said I was.
Oh, they couldn't take you in. There wasn't room. Some roisterers of some kind got in ahead of you. Or they didn't like lions or something.
Then where is the Battery Park police station?
Why, in Battery Park, sir, naturally.
Then what are you waiting for? Get in. You see what I told you? Hot dog, let's go! Let's go! Did anybody see any bankers around here? I didn't hear just what you said. I'm decided by your circus. I'll take it.
Do you feel better now? I thought a little air would do you good.
It's very kind of you. Oh, yes, this is my cab, isn't it? What a day. Say, was I hanging off a line from a building, or did I have a nightmare?
I'm afraid you did, Mr. Diddlebock. I mean, hang off the building. But I really wish you wouldn't anymore now that it isn't necessary.
You wish I wouldn't.
I mean, now that you're a member of the firm and everything.
What firm is that?
Why, Waggleberry and Company, where you always work.
You say I'm a...
But of course you are. Mr. Waggleberry said that Sergeant's free circus idea was the best advertising idea he'd heard of since Brody jumped off the bridge. And then when you got the accountant on.
You say Sergeant bought the circus?
Oh, no, he already had a circus of his own. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey bought your circus.
Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey? You mean for money?
We certainly didn't buy it for peanuts.
But I thought that there were some bankers. Weren't there some bankers who wanted it or something?
Oh, yes, but they didn't want it as much as Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey wanted it. They just wanted it for the free circus idea, which Mr. Sargent already had, which made you a member of the firm. But Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey really wanted it. The bankers never got any higher than $150,000.
$150,000?
That's right. But when Ringling Brothers don't like something, they really don't like it.
Don't like?
They don't like free circuses. $175,000 worth they don't like them. Here's your check.
$175,000.
I'm so happy for you, Mr. Diddlebock. I mean, so much happening in such a short time. I'm very proud of you, too. You must be terribly intelligent. I beg your pardon, Mr. Diddlebock?
$175,000.
That's right. You see, it's written... Oh. It's written twice.
Oh, you're wearing it. The engagement ring. I remember now. $175,000. How beautiful it looks on your little hand. I see.
What's the matter, Mr. Diddlebock?
This ought to be the happiest day of my life. The unexpected job, the unexpected money, But it isn't. Funny, isn't it?
I'm not quite sure I understand, Mr. Diddlebock.
What's so difficult to understand about it? I just said that I'm very happy for you. If I didn't say it, I meant it. I've just made a killing in circuses. I am, you tell me, a member of a large advertising firm, and I don't know how much per year, if ever I could afford to support it's now, and once again, I've just lost one of the little girls in the world. The last one. I am naturally delighted. Excuse me for even thinking like this. Now, if you'll tell me where you live, I'll take you home.
You mean you don't remember, Mr. Diddlebock?
Remember what? What is there for me to remember? What I want to do is to learn how to forget.
Remember that you're married?
Remember that I married you. How's that again?
I said, don't you remember marrying me, Mr. Diddlebock.
Marrying you, Mr. Diddlebock? How could I possibly remember marrying you, Mr. Diddlebock? In the first place, your name isn't Mr. Diddlebock. In the second place...
You mean you don't remember coming out to Flatbush in the middle of the night with a full orchestra?
Flatbush?
And waking up the whole neighborhood while you told Mother it was about time you did something about one of her daughters and then wrapping me in a long velvet cloak that turned out afterwards to be a window curtain and then galloping all the way back to New Jersey. I'll bet you Ellen remembers.
Are you sure of your facts, Miss Otis?
Am I sure? Really, Mr. Diddlebock?
This is terrible, Miss Otis. I'll never forgive myself if I live to be. I mean, the difference in our age alone is... I mean to say not that I don't worship the very ground you walk on, but I mean, looking at us together, I must have been out of my mind. I was out of my mind. Why didn't you resist me, Miss Otis?
Because you were irresistible.
Irresistible, my grandmother's poodle. I mean to say, look at me.
I'm looking at you, Mr.
What do you see?
My husband.
Your husband, piffle, bunk, sentimental drip-trap. Fortunately, there's still time to rectify this nonsense, this miscarriage of a... We'll have it annulled for you.
I don't think that would be practical, Mr. Diddlebock.
All right. Then you can go to Reno or any place else that you like. At least I can afford it now. What do you mean it wouldn't be practical? I'll always be glad to look after you as generously and as well as I know how. Anything that I have is yours, Miss Otis.
Everything I have is yours, Mr. Diddlebock. And I'll tell you something else, Mr. Diddlebock. I'm not going to Reno or any place else because you see, Mr. Diddlebock, it took you so long to make up your mind to join our family that now that we have you, we don't think we'd better ever let you go.
But, my dear Miss...
And I'll tell you something else, Mr. Diddlebock, that you also haven't bothered to ask me. I love you, Mr. Diddlebock.
But, my dear Miss Otis, my dear child. Oh, my dear... That must be what I was doing all day Wednesday.